Hi friends, it's Miss Allie. I am back in my classroom to talk to you a little bit about frogs and to do a fun activity with you. Today's activity is going to be a directed drawing of, you guessed it, a frog. So today, if you want to go ahead and get your stuff ready for the directed draw, you will need a blank piece of paper, white preferably, but whatever you got will work. Either a pencil or a black crayon or a black marker or a black colored pencil, whatever you've got, and then whatever else you want to use to make your drawing colorful. I personally like to use black crayons and then watercolors to fill it in, but you can use absolutely anything that you have on hand and it will be great. All right, so let's start by talking just a little bit about frogs before we get started on our directed drawing. So last week we talked a little bit about butterflies and the butterfly life cycle. Did you know that frogs also have a life cycle? Theirs is just a bit different than a butterfly, because you would think so, right? Because can frogs fly? No. Nope. Frogs are not bugs or insects. They are amphibians. Can you say amphibians? That is a long, hard word. But that is what a frog is, and this is the life cycle of a frog. So you can see they begin as eggs, caterpillars. They start out as eggs before they hatch. They were eggs, so they have that in common, right? So they have little eggs, and once that egg hatches, they will turn into a tadpole. Can you say tadpole? That's a funny looking thing right here with a tail and its little head. And then as that tadpole swims around, usually you'll find them in ponds. You won't find them in the ocean, but you can find them in ponds. Sometimes if you are by a river, you might see them off little puddles. Some of you may have some in your backyard if you have a big pond, but that's where you'll be able to see them. And once they start growing, they will sprout little legs. Can you guys see that little leg back there? That is called a tadpole with legs. Pretty simple to remember, right? Then they'll keep swimming in the water and eventually they'll grow even more legs. How many legs do they have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 legs, but they still have their long tail. That doesn't look like a frog yet. It's called a froglet. Can you say froglet? That's pretty funny, huh? Then after a while, they're still swimming around, they will turn into an adult frog. And they will lose that tail right there and turn into a big frog. I have other little pictures here. So this is the eggs. And remember, those eggs turn into a tadpole. Their fun little tail and little head. Then that tadpole will sprout what? They'll grow legs, those fun back legs, and they still have their tail. Then after a while, they'll grow 2 more legs and become that froglet. And then next, after they don't have a tail anymore, they turn into a frog. This is not a real frog, don't worry. He won't jump away. He's my friend. So this is an adult frog. Now, not all frogs are green. There are so many different colors of frogs. Did you know there are green frogs and purple frogs and blue frogs and yellow frogs? All different kinds. You should ask a grown-up to look it up with you and see how many different types of frogs there are. So remember that when we're doing our activity, because do you have to make your frog green? No, it can be any color you want because there are so many colors of different frogs out there. So we are going to get started on our directed drawing now that we've kind of learned a little bit about the life cycle from egg to tadpole with legs to froglet to frog and then back to egg, and it'll keep going around and around that little cycle and their life circle or life cycle. So now that we've learned a little bit about our Mr. Frog, let's draw one. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we are for our frog. All right, the first thing our frog is going to need is we're gonna give him some eyeballs. So you wanna try to find towards the top of your paper. If you do it too low, you're not gonna have enough room for the body. So we wanna try to do it towards the top, and you wanna spread them out too, because remember frogs, where's my frog? Here's my frog. See how his eyes aren't really close together. They're on the opposite sides of his face. So we are going to do one eyeball there and one eyeball there. So just 2 circles. Can you draw 2 circles on your paper for me? 2 circles. And they don't have to be perfect, just do your very best. All right, next up, we are going to draw a line to connect those. Just a straight line to connect our eyes. All right, and once you're there, we're gonna do an oval, but it's not gonna be a full oval because it's gonna be connecting one circle to the other. So I'm gonna do my oval like this. All right, go ahead and draw your oval. All right, so our next step is we're gonna give him a body. Now our body is kind of gonna look like a rectangle square, but it's gonna be rounded on the corners. Let me show you how I'm going to do it. So we're gonna start at the bottom of his face, and I'm gonna go down to the bottom, kind of loop the corner over, coming over to this side of him, loop the corner over again, and meet back up towards his face. All right, and if you're doing it too light, you can always go over it and make it darker. I like to do that sometimes. So now we have his body. Go ahead and make his body for me. Great job. All right, so the next on our list is we're gonna give him a little belly. So you're gonna start down here, you're gonna find your corner down here. You're gonna go over kind of like a rainbow. Go whoop, and back down. Okay, yours can be taller or shorter or fatter or skinnier, whatever you want your frog to look like. Okay, our next one is we're gonna give them some back legs. They're gonna be super simple back legs. We are just going to go whoop, and then another leg over here. Whoop. You can do the sound effects if you'd like to. They're not required though. So what is he missing now? He's definitely missing some eyeballs in the middle. We need to see his eyes. So I'm gonna make mine look kind of silly. So I'm gonna have this eye looking that way and this eye looking that way, okay? Wherever you want the little black dots to be on your frog, go ahead and put them in now. Yours can be silly, it doesn't have to be. It's totally up to you. And now my frog needs a little bit of a smiley face. So frogs have, if you can see, frogs have big mouths from one side to the other. So mine's gonna be nice and big all the way over. And from here, you've got, I'm just gonna make this a little bit darker. I went a little too light. From here, you've got the base of your frog. So if you wanna add things to it at this point, you're totally welcome to do that, or you can just start decorating as it is. I think I'm gonna be a little bit silly and add a tongue right here. Maybe have his mouth open a little bit where his tongue's coming out, just to be silly, because we know that frogs use their tongue to catch their food, huh? So maybe he just caught some food. Okay, and maybe my frog is gonna have some speckles on the side of his face. He can be a speckled frog, like the song, Speckled Frogs. There we go. Now, I think I'm going to do some painting, okay? So I'm gonna take my watercolors, and this is where you can start decorating your frog. Remember, does it have to be green? Nope, because not all frogs are green. And your frog can be whatever color you want it to be. Use your imagination and come up with something fun that makes you happy. Does not have to be like mine, does not have to be like anybody else's. It can be just yours. I'm gonna do his body green, like so. What color are you choosing to do your frog? I would love, 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 love to see your frog when you're all done with it. Maybe you can have your grown-up take a picture and post it to our Facebook page and say, Miss Allie wanted to see a picture, and they'll know what to do. I think I'm gonna give him a purple belly. He needs a purple belly, my frog does. Right here. It's a dark purple belly. I really like that color. And I'm gonna keep decorating my frog, and then I will show a picture at the bottom of my Facebook post with this video along with yours, so you can see how my silly frog turns out and we can show each other. All right. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you have so much fun making your frog, and I'll see you next time. Bye.